So, topic is why my German so terrible, but also the fact that I don't care that it is as bad as it is. I used to care a lot. I'm like, damn, like my German is so bad. Why is it so bad? Well, A, I just started, right? Technically, I just started. B, I'm not doing it formally like in a school setting. And C, learning styles. Everybody has a different learning style. Mine, to give you some background, I'm also in the military. I've said this a bajillion times, but for those that didn't know, now you do. I'm in the military. Now, my personal job is like electronic warfare, right? When I first learned my job, people were trying to teach me how to do my job from the beginning. You go into the military, you're a clean slate. Well, the way I learned, right, you have to teach me in a way that's relatable to me. And it wasn't relatable, so I never retained the information. I kind of brain dumped it. People were teaching me stuff, and I dumped it because it wasn't fun. I'm like, this isn't fun. What the hell? Like, just tell me to put this here and do these specific things, and then I'll do that. Boom. But if I feel like what you're telling me is useless and you're not even trying to help me, then I'm gonna just do whatever I want, and it's not gonna make any sense because I don't know. You have to figure out how people work. So very much the same with languages, right? With German, and even with Chinese. Chinese, I think I had way more of a motivation to learn because I loved anime. That's how it all starts. I love watching anime. I love Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, blah, 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 blah. They did not offer any Japanese classes, and I wanted to take Japanese so I could understand how to speak Japanese, write it, read it. Bro, that's a flex. That's probably the biggest flex on the planet, being able to speak Japanese and Chinese. We had Chinese as an option for class. I decided to take Chinese, and although it is probably the hardest language to learn in the world, next to German and Latin and other languages, Chinese is one of the hardest languages to learn. I was learning it at a rapid rate because I loved learning it. Like I wanted to learn it. It's a different feeling when you want to learn something. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool, boom, boom, boom. And I didn't feel a rush to learn it fast. I just knew that I loved it so much that even outside of the homework assignments we had and the essays we had to write, I was practicing it on my free time. I was trying to speak it with my friends. It was even cooler because in Chicago, there's an entire village. It's called Chinatown. You can go to Chinatown and speak with people who actually speak Chinese in their own homes and practice all the time. That was fun, With German, German was also offered to us. I didn't want to learn German until I started doing reactions to German rap. And even then, I didn't want to learn how to learn German until I got into doing meme compilation reactions and stuff, and like reacting to YouTubers. I'm like, ooh, I kind of want to hear what they have, like what they're actually saying. And so it became pretty fun. I'm like, oh, cool. But then I think in the doing of that, I kind of dug myself in a hole because I was too hard on myself. I'm like, damn, I got to learn faster. I got to da-da-da, pick this up. And I love the process. I still love the process of learning more words. I like learning new words. I love learning new phrases, but I also know what's not going to retain information. I had a bunch of people, give me spreadsheets on the conjugation of different verbs and whatnot, which helped a lot. I needed to know that because I'm like, okay, this is how people say this. This is how people do this, blah, blah, blah. Although once it got a little deeper than that, my brain turned off. I was like, too much. Let me take it slow. I think I was getting ahead of myself. And I think because I noticed that the more I got involved with speaking German, the more engagement I was getting from my audience. I think what happens is, like, obviously when you're on a platform and you make videos and blah, 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 you have to kind of engage with your largest audience. I was trying to learn Serbian for a little bit. I understood a little bit of Serbian. So when people would speak, I'm like, oh shit, I understand that. Boom, so I could react to Serbian songs and generally know what people are saying, because for a long time I had only reacted to Serbian content, but then I switched over to German content because I'm like, well, this is a lot more fitting. I literally can get stationed in Germany and live there and stuff as my actual job. That would be really cool. I don't need a citizenship to live in Germany. We have Air Force bases out there. So I figured, why not shift my channel to more German content? And then that way it's the best of both worlds. I beat myself up pretty bad trying to learn the language. And I'm like, damn, but I'm not giving up. I just feel like this is just me venting to you guys about the process. And now I've gotten to a point where I don't care. I don't care about like how much progress I make. I did have like markers in my head, like I need to make this much progress. I need to make this much progress. The fact that I'm making any progress to me is huge. I like that. I'm like, awesome. I learned a word, whatever. But sometimes what's kind of frustrating, and it's not just with learning languages, it's with me learning anything. Once I learn something, like for instance, the word vague, right? Or vague, I think it's vague, right? So once I learn the word vague, I see it somewhere in a sentence, on a billboard or something, I forget the meaning of it. But then other times I'll see the same word and I remember it. I don't know why that is, but it happens with like other things that don't have anything with language learning. You teach me how to change a tire on a car. I'll remember how to do it then and for the next couple of weeks. But then like randomly 6-7 months later, I completely forget how to change a tire. And then a year later, I know how to change a tire, but I might forget some steps in the changing the tire process. I know a lot of you guys are like, dude, that's because you're not doing it all the time. That could be it. But it's weird that like, it's almost like, it's like teetery. It's like this, like I learned some stuff, but it's not entirely there yet. Or I'll put it this way. You learn German, but then if you speak it all the time, you don't speak every single word you've ever learned. You're gonna use more words more frequently than other words, which means you're gonna hear more phrases more frequently than other phrases, which means you'll be fluent in one aspect of speaking German, but you won't be fluent in others. Like I might be fluent at having a conversation with people, which I'm not. I'm not fluent at all. But if I was fluent at speaking conversationally, very informal, boom, that's one way because you're playing games, you're interacting with people, you're trying to form a bond with people. But in the same breath, I can't have an interview with somebody, like a job interview, and like speak good German at a job interview and address people with the appropriate like formalities, right? Like formal German. I'm terrible. If you think my regular German's bad, dude, me speaking formal German, holy shit, terrible. But it is what it is, you know? I'll start reading the comments in a little bit, but I just wanted to let you guys know, I understand my German's pretty fucking bad, and I've said it a lot. I'm acknowledging it because I don't want you guys to think that, oh, that's the American that thinks he speaks good German, but he can't. That's the reason why I say it's bad. Like, I know people are like, oh, stop beating yourself up, blah, blah, blah. I'm acknowledging that I know that my German is terrible, but I'm also acknowledging that I no longer care about the progression of how fast I progress in German anymore. I don't. I think that's what was making me a little more stressed out because I'm like, damn, like I like making videos centered around Germany, but I feel like I am definitely putting a lot of stress on myself trying to speak it as fast as I can or learn as fast as I can so I don't have to learn as much stuff and it's just like words here and there. I think at this point, I am just happy to understand just a little bit more every single day. So you will be seeing like, you know, daily posts of me doing something in German, whether it's like a American society compared to German society stuff or something new I discovered about Germany or more meme reactions or a new YouTuber I found and I'm reacting to their videos from Germany. You'll still get all those every day and stuff. And I guess over the years, it'll get better or it won't. We won't know. But I feel like repetition, obviously, it will obviously get better. It just won't get as good as someone who's like going to school or living in the country and they actually have to speak because of these different things. But I've learned so much. I've learned a lot. Like culturally, I've learned a lot from people. I learned like a lot of the Umgangssprache is what you guys call slang, right? Umgangssprache. Like I've learned a lot of that, which is what I wanted to learn. I learned a lot about the culture itself and like the younger generation versus the older generation and just like mannerisms between the two. There's a lot of words that old people use that young people don't even know about, which I didn't even know about. I'm like, what the fuck? Like I thought every German knew every German word, you know, like, but then I also realized there's like a lot of cultures that live in Germany that aren't even German, but they've lived in Germany for like 20 plus years that can't speak German that well at all. So it's pretty cool because I'm like, I feel like I fit in that aspect, you know? So I gotta find more things I find interesting, and I'll do that over time. And I do appreciate everybody who's sticking with the channel and the streams, for sticking by and like having patience with me, because I know it can be very frustrating. I've seen other channels and stuff, and like other people who have made immense progress because they're actually taking very effective measures and speaking faster, but like I said, man, it's a marathon, not a sprint. I'm not really that concerned anymore at all about like how fast I learn or speak German. I just think that the fact that I even know what I know now, to me personally, is impressive, because not a lot of people speak German. Like, I'd say less than 1% of the world speaks German, of the entire world. Like, not like, because there's like what, 83 million people in Germany, and then if we take all the people in the world and put it in like, you know, a big pot, I feel like less than 1% of people, or maybe it could be like 2% of the world speaks German or something, but it's a very small population. Just look at the niche of German in like the videos that get made. It's a small ass niche. Like, it's tiny. So the fact that like I even know this, right, is huge, because I'm like, what the fuck? Like, who would have thought? If you would have told my 10-year-old self that I'd be able to understand a good amount of German, like informal German at that, not just like German, but informal German, I would be mind blown. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, that makes no sense. But I don't know. You know, like I said, it's a marathon, not a sprint. And I'm actually excited to see what happens in the future, because who knows? Maybe I might make a gigantic leap next year out of the blue. Or maybe I might take 5 steps backwards and forget a lot of stuff. The only way I would forget most of what I know now is if I took a hiatus from making content on YouTube and stop completely streaming anything that has to do with German stuff. I think you guys have noticed, and like I said, I'm gonna tie this whole topic up really quick. You guys have noticed I've posted every single title on my channel has German in it, because it engages you guys. Like, if it doesn't have German in the title, you guys aren't clicking on that. So I'm like, okay, well, I got to put German in the title. German this, German that, da da da. Like, get creative. If you look at the last, like, I don't know, last 1,000 videos on my channel have been like German this, German that, German da da da, German, right? And it's pretty obvious as to why. Like, it's not a secret, but it has to do with a few things. Streaming, it's been inconsistent, but posting on YouTube has been the one constant in my life since 2018. And I figured I can only make progress in German if I am actively infusing that in something that I do every day. Because if I wasn't doing German content, I would be reacting to all the trendy shit that's going on, like in America. Like, we have beef going on in America between YouTubers right now. We have Kanye's divorce with Kim Kardashian, which is getting a lot of views across whatever. I could do that and a bunch of other things. But I'm like, dude, I know for me, if I incorporate something German related in every video on my channel, eventually I myself will be a lot more fluent and understanding of that culture, you know, over time. And I love it. You know, it's really cool. The process has been amazing. But it's crazy, man. Like, I I just wanted to get that off my chest. You guys let me know what you think in the comments down below. Be honest. Like, if you guys have noticed a decline in my progress, I know. I'm just letting you know that I know, you know? But if you guys have seen something that I haven't seen with myself, that would be interesting to know in the comments down below. But let me know what you guys think as far as like how my progress has been, how you guys even found the channel, and why you guys watch, you know? Because I think that's also really cool too. I do appreciate you guys, all of you as a community and whatnot. And, you know, it really means a lot that, that most of you guys are still here. All of you guys are still here, even after, you know, some very frustrating turns and twists in my language learning process. I say that with quotations, because I know it's not as fast as anybody else. I've had like a learning problem for the longest, man, but I don't know. I like the way that I've been progressing and whatnot, but it's just, this is me explaining every aspect and element of this from the get-go to now, in case people don't know, in case people who are new to the channel are curious as to why they keep seeing green, yellow, and red all over my channel over the last 2-3 years. That is why. And I hope that answered everything. But that's pretty much it. Take care. Peace.